Hey, so this is the end of my Master Cleanse blogging. This is actually my first ease out day, and you're supposed to just drink orange juice today. And I did that. I actually bought 20 organic navel oranges from Whole Foods, thinking that was going to make me 3 liters of orange juice, which is what you're supposed to drink, and it made me about 1 liter. So I had to supplement, and I bought some store-bought organic orange juice and diluted it with water and put about a teaspoon of maple syrup in, which is a little less than I think you're supposed to according to the site. And I drank that all day and was actually really tired. So there's definitely a reason for the specific ingredients in the lemonade. They do specific things for your body and help it operate as well as it did through the 7 or 10 days or however many days you're doing. Orange juice does not do that. So I felt kind of a spike in my blood sugar, and then it would drop. I don't think I've ever drank this much orange juice in one day in my life. So tomorrow I'm going to drink some orange juice in the morning, and also go ahead and move to broth and maybe some soup tomorrow night. I did have some organic vegetable broth tonight for dinner, not even quite a cup, and it was really good, tasted good. And I used a spoon, which was foreign because I haven't done that in a week. So I wanted to kind of wrap things up and go over just some experiences and everything from this week. I also did want to say that I lost 9 pounds in 7 days, which I wasn't expecting to lose that much weight. And I know that I'll probably gain about half of that back from water weight and just when I start to eat solid foods again. So the challenging part will kick in actually this week and next week in just making really smart food choices, in continuing to keep my weight down. So I also lost 1.5 inches in my waist and 2 inches in my hips, which I really feel good about. My clothes just fit better. So that was a huge positive for me for this week. I did not weigh myself at all this week. I didn't want to focus on it at all. I wanted to focus more on how I felt versus what the numbers on the scale were telling me. And I think that helped my body to not be so stressed out about how much weight I was losing. Because if you're weighing yourself every morning, you're focused on that number. And it can vary, from day to day. I actually felt thinner on day 3 than I did on day 5. And I didn't do the saltwater washes in the morning, so I wasn't getting bloated from that. It just, your body changes every time you go to bed, wake up in the morning. So, a pound difference can really skew and discourage you mentally, and that could kind of, mess up your focus for the rest of the week. So I would advise to not weigh yourself during the week if you're doing this for more than just to lose weight, which it is a cleanse and not just a diet. So I hope that you're doing it for more than just to lose weight. So as far as ingredients, I bought way too many lemons. I bought organic lemons and bought like 35 of them, and I think I only used about 15. I ended up using about 2.5 lemons per day to make 60 ounces of the orange juice each morning. I also bought one of those big containers of the grade B maple syrup, and I went through one whole container and about 3 tablespoons of the other container, so I almost got away with buying one. So I guess if you're going shopping, buy one of the big containers and then a smaller container if you think you'll never use grade B maple syrup again on pancakes or whatever. So, and then the cayenne pepper is pretty basic, and water. I did use purified water. I did exercise 4 times last week, but very, very low intensity. I did yoga, and I walked 2 miles during each gym visit very slowly at like 3.0 speed. So it took about 40 minutes to walk 2 miles, but my resting heart rate is normally 78, and it was 61 on Friday, which is very, very low. So when I was exercising, I was trying to really pay attention to not increasing my heart rate to where, there were some times during the week where I could feel it beating out of my chest, and it felt really unnatural. So I didn't want to get my heart rate up a lot. Plus, if you're doing high-intensity workouts, strength training, weightlifting, you're not intaking any protein to help your muscles recover. So it's really a pointless workout if you're going and lifting weights or anything, because you're not replenishing your body with what it would need to recover from that workout. So if you are going to work out, my advice, at least personally, is to just use low intensity, more stretching, and light cardio. I did have very vivid dreams almost every night. I know a lot of people say that they have a lot of dreams on the cleanse, and I don't know if that's because you are able to get into a deeper levels of sleep, but I have no idea. But I had some strange dreams. I also feel like my body temperature was a lot lower than normal. I've been freezing all week, just piling on sweatshirts and wearing 2 pairs of socks, and so I have a feeling that had to do with, obviously, taking my metabolism down, and therefore my body temperature dropped quite a bit. One thing that I found to be helpful was that I kept busy and kept planning things to look forward to throughout the week. So whether that was hanging out with friends, or planning a facial on Saturday, or just had things to do each night after work, going to the gym instead of coming home and just sitting on the couch. It really helped me to focus my attention on something else instead of just being home and not eating. And going shopping even, and getting a couple things that I was excited to fit into. It's very inspiring to want to keep me, in a healthy state of mind. So, one big takeaway I think that I learned was to be able to differentiate between boredom and hunger. And I think at work I struggle with that a lot. I have a desk job, as I said earlier this week, so I'm really going to try to focus on that as I introduce more foods into my diet this week and next. Just really thinking, okay, am I hungry, or am I just bored, or am I thirsty? Because half the time you think you're hungry, you're actually thirsty and you need water instead. So those were a couple of the biggest things for me this week. I tried to remember everything because I wanted to be as helpful as possible in doing this. So I think that I would definitely do this again, and I would do it for 10 days instead of 7. And I think I would probably do the saltwater flush more than once next time. So maybe in a couple years from now, I'll feel like it's necessary to do it again and just be able to reset my body again. So good luck if you're thinking about doing this. I highly suggest it. I had great success, and it was a really great week for me. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be, but it was still very challenging and requires a lot of discipline. So be prepared to be mentally as well as physically challenged. So good luck, and post any questions you have here, and I'll hopefully be able to answer. So